So welcome back to another episode, and welcome back to one of, I'm sure, many 1-year anniversary Nintendo Switch videos. And I'm sure there's a lot of videos out right now that are covering this, but I really want to come in and give my own take on the first year of the Switch and kind of what I think about it and some of my memories. I already have memories, it's only been a year, of this machine that at first, we're talking like a year to 2 years ago. My God, the controversy about this machine. Everybody had their 2 cents about it. Is this going to be a great machine? Is it the end of Nintendo? There's so many videos like that. I think I did a video saying, is it worth it? Like, should you go for it? Yes or no? Type of thing. And I said, yes, I was. I've always been a fan of Nintendo. I'm not a blind fanboy. I was there day one with the Nintendo Entertainment System back in 1987 when I got mine. And every machine that I bought up to now, I've always really enjoyed it. But we were coming off a time where the Wii U wasn't catching on for Nintendo like they originally planned. And a lot of people were saying doom and gloom for Nintendo. And I must admit, I wanted more games than the Wii U. I loved the Wii U. It was a fantastic machine. It had so many great games, and it ended a little prematurely. But that was because it wasn't doing that well, and they had the idea for the Switch. This was their fully realized version of the tablet controller. Finally. And a lot of people were they felt kind of burnt by it. It was kind of like back in the old Sega days with the Sega Saturn and the 32X and all that. People were kind of, a little skeptical to go into the Dreamcast era, which ended up being phenomenally great. Some of these companies really learned from their past, failures, mistakes, if you want to call it that. I was always a supporter of the Wii U. Some incredible games on there. So, all of a sudden, Nintendo shows the first commercial of this, and this was a really big deal, showing that you could take this machine anywhere. It was a console, it was a handheld, all in one. It was amazing. It was really amazing, and you could take off the Joy-Cons, play with your friends, play in a forest. Wow! That first commercial went viral. Everybody was talking about it. Everybody was excited about it, but there was a lot of people that were like, it's doomed for Nintendo, they're finished, it's over, the Wii U too. There was a lot of talk, there was a lot of controversy, and let me say something. I love those moments. I love it when everybody's debating about a new machine. This is not new news. This has been happening since the 8-bit, 16-bit era. Remember the Sega Genesis versus the Super Nintendo? Wow, yeah, we haven't seen this before. So I felt quite at home with all the people arguing back and forth, and people were getting super angry about it. And a lot of people, like myself, were super excited because the way I look at it, I love video games. And this looked like a machine where I can take a video game, off the console into a forest and play it. I really liked that idea. I thought it was really awesome. And I also was kind of getting a little burnt out on the 3DS. I loved the 3DS for so many years, but I'm like, wow, I wanted to see a next generation handheld. And Nintendo was giving us that as well with this. So we have to go back, and a lot of people bought it on launch day, but I was very, very lucky. My friend Victor Lucas was sent one about a week early, and I went over there for an early unboxing of it, and I kind of marveled. I still watch the video, and it's so funny that I'm so like, oh my God, how does this work? The Joy-Cons, how do you take them off? This is all so brand new and exciting, and that's why I'm very kind of nostalgic about it. That's why I want to make the video today. And we were playing with the new console, and we're like, this is amazing. But we turned off all the cameras of the unboxing, and we put in Legend of Zelda, and this is the kind of personal moment that I want to talk about. I've never talked about. We turned off all the cameras, and we're just going to play Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, because he was sending this in 1-2 Switch for the first time. And here's the moment that I will never forget about Breath of the Wild. It wasn't myself or Vic that played the game that first time. Not at all. Vic brought in his 5-year-old daughter and let her play for the first time. And I tell you, I can get a little tear about that moment, because that was more special than a 40-year-old guy playing a video game machine for the first time. It was so important that this young girl was playing this game, and she was like, wow, Dad, this is amazing. And I was like, this is what it's all about. That's the magic of video games and moments in time, and that's always the first moment I'll have with Breath of the Wild. I'll take that with me for the rest of my life. But over the following days, we're playing this secret system that nobody has, only a select few have, and it felt so exciting. I've never, over time, I've become very jaded with a lot of things, but this was so cool. Vic kept inviting me over to his basement and saying, hey, I'm going to work for the day, like if you want to play Breath of the Wild, go for it. So I'm like, okay, and I had this brand new, here we go. Here's the Pro Controller. Here's the Pro Controller right here. And this is a nice controller, let me say. I really like this. Sitting down, these are the memories I have in his basement playing Breath of the Wild for the first time, and I felt like a kid again. And it's very rare that I feel that. And he kept saying to me, he's like, oh yeah, you gotta do this. He was really far ahead in the game. He was like blasting through it. And I'm sitting there, and he's like, and I've got to like the frozen tundra level, with all the snow coming down, and my couch is freezing, and I'm like, Vic, what do I do? And he's like, oh, you go find some hot peppers and eat those, they'll warm you up. And I was like, it sounds so rudimentary, but it was fascinating. It felt like video games. I felt like 1987 playing the NES for the first time. I felt like I was discovering secrets. Running around in Breath of the Wild was just so secret-based, and I don't know, something clicked with me and something magical happened that I rarely see in video games. It's once every 25 plus years this happens to me. But Breath of the Wild was suddenly taking hold on me. And then I finally got my own Switch and my own copy of the game, and I played it, and it was religious. It was like I pulled in my chair right into the TV, and I played that game, and it was magical. And a lot of people were talking, I was so excited to play the handheld, but I was playing on the TV. That's how I was doing it with the Pro Controller. But I was having those moments where I was like, oh, I'm stepping away from the game. I'm like, no, I'm not. And I just pull it up, play it in the bedroom. I'm like, wow, this is totally the same experiences on the TV. These are experiences that were brand new to the Nintendo Switch. Console, handheld hybrid. Wow. It was really exciting me, and I'll never forget all those moments playing over with Vic, and that's when we were first really hanging out, and I think we both shared this really amazing moment, and Breath of the Wild became, did I know this when this machine came out, became my favorite video game of all time, overtaking Phantasy Star. I didn't see that one coming this year, not at all. And let's go through some of these games. There was some disappointments for sure. 1-2 Switch. Yeah, it was a demo piece for absolutely nothing in my mind. I really didn't like this, and we were trying everything out that first day. Playing the cowboy game, drawing your six guns, shooting each other. It just wasn't resonating. It's like, look your opponent in the eye and shoot. It's like, oh, I just got this Joy-Con. I'm not feeling it. Didn't care for this game at all. Not really into it. But I had to get this game as well, and this, I got a review copy of this back in the day. We played the loving shit out of this. And now, this was a Wii U game that was ported to the Switch, but with all the DLC and all that kind of stuff. And I loved it. And I loved it for the portability of it. And I said that in my review. Playing it on the TV was great again, but it was taking it with me, playing against my friends, wherever I was, and I did. We were sitting in movie theaters playing the game, even before it came out, just to really soak it in, and we're like, wow, and the battle mode was really great. Anyways, I could go on and on forever about that. And here's something very, very interesting. This game came out, and I remember reviewing this game, and a lot of people were like, oh, you're just being so positive about every single Nintendo game. But something funny happened. It was even in one of my Games of the Year episodes. ARMS. Of all things. I remember, honestly, I'll go in. I saw this game initially and I thought, is this like a WiiWare game? This is not a real fully, game on its own, is it? I remember I was very disappointed looking at the game and I thought, oh, is this like a fighting game where you extend your arms? I'm like, that sounds lame. I went in with that idea, and then I started to play the game itself, and then I started to play against people online. And there's something kinetic, and it's like poetry, the gameplay. Grabbing your opponent, smashing them in the head, them grabbing you, throwing you through a pillar. There is a lot to like in this game, and that music from this goddamn game will haunt me till I die. I can never get that chanting, song out of my head from the opening. Very, very nostalgic already. I can't believe. Who would have ever thought that when this machine came out, I'd be here a year later saying how nostalgic this all is, but it really was. And then we were getting a lot of different styles of games. Some hit, some miss. I kind of like this game. I made my Blanken in it, and that was Ultra Street Fighter 2, the Final Challengers. We had a Street Fighter game on here. Obviously, it wasn't Street Fighter 4 or 5. We knew we weren't going to get 5 on there, but still an enjoyable game. Now, here's one. Splatoon 2. I never thought I'd play a Splatoon game. I played it with my cousins. They were showing me the ropes, and I was like, I don't know, I think I'm too old for this game. I'm way too mature for this game. Splatoon 2 came out. I was loving this game. I had so much fun with it. A lot more. As soon as I could play, with the Pro Controller and control it that way without the gyroscope controls. And I said that in my review. People were like, but I love the gyroscope controls. Well, hey, good for you. I'm glad you do. For me, I liked it on the goddamn Pro Controller. I have one friend of mine on my friends list on my Switch. 1,000 hours of playtime in this game, and you know who you are. You know who you are. So a lot of people really got a lot of fun out of Splatoon 2. Oh, here we go. This is a fun one. Pokken Tournament Dx. This is fun because I was in the other room and I got my review copy and I'm like, I'm not going to play this game at all. Like, I don't think I'm going to really get into this. I didn't want to play it. 6 hours later, after I started, I'm like, my wife's yelling to me. She's like, are you still playing that game? I'm like, I can't stop. I'm on my match 52. I kept playing over and over. And all those matches helped me out for when I played it with Vic. And we went head to head. I just absolutely annihilated him, destroyed him off the planet. And I enjoyed this game, Pokken Tournament, a little bit more than what I thought. And the one thing, this is going to sound really kind of weird that I'm going to bring up. I really like the cover. I really like the cover. I thought it was, I don't know, there's something about it when I got it. And I was getting a lot of other style of games on the Switch, like Xenoverse 2 by Bandai Namco. Huge Dragon Ball fan. And I love the Xenoverse series. And to have this on the go, I was playing this on the bus one night, and it was just having to go to a movie screening and having a lot of fun creating my character, getting back into the Dragon Ball world. And happy to see games like this on the Nintendo Switch for sure. What an end to 2017. It was something else. We're talking the Switch's first year. I was blown away when we got, a Zelda game that became my favorite game of all time. And then Mario goddamn Odyssey dropped. All in the first year. And I'm a big Zelda Mario fan from the early days, playing the very first Zelda and the very first Mario Brothers. So playing Odyssey was everything I wanted because Mario 64 was my favorite Mario game of all time at that point. I really loved it. Mario 3 and Mario 64 really were. And for years, I loved the Mario Galaxy series, loved all that kind of stuff. But I wanted kind of more of a return to Mario 64. They dropped this, and it absolutely nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. And I was so excited to go to the opening event for EB Games. And everybody, there's 150 plus people lined up to get a Mario game. And I think I hadn't seen anything like that in a long time. And I've heard since that there is other big lineups for games like that. Because usually you see, most people get off Amazon these days or something like that. So to see people lined up around the block for a Mario game in 2017 really warmed my heart. That was really a neat thing to see. Now, there's a couple of really big games that also dropped at the end of the year. And they were very important for the Nintendo Switch. Very, very important. And that was Doom and Skyrim. These were some of the most important games to drop to show that it wasn't just Mario games on the Nintendo, but it was, things like Doom and Skyrim. Even though they were a little bit older style games, that they were playing on this, on the game machine itself, and people could have that kind of mature experience on this machine. And I reviewed both these games and I thought they were really, really good. Obviously there's a frame rate dip here and there, obviously in Doom and Skyrim a little bit. But overall, to have the experience, I played Skyrim going downtown again, and I was just like, this is remarkable that I can do. I never thought when I was playing Skyrim back in the old days, back on the 360, that I would one day be playing on a Nintendo console on a handheld. We've come a long way. Things progress very, very fast. That's for sure. So, before we move on, what an end of year, man. Like, look at this stuff. Is everything going to fall down? No, it's not. They end the year with Xenoblade Chronicles 2. A major RPG. This is still all in the first year. We get a Mario, we get a Zelda, a Xenoblade. I'm like, wow. You know, this is sounding like a Nintendo commercial, and it's not meaning to, but this is a good year. Like, can I not embrace happiness and goodness with a machine that's really coming out of the gate flying? I've never seen a launch like this. I've never seen a launched year like this at all. And we got other games by some third parties. Obviously now we got NIS. We got this RPG, The Longest 5 Minutes has come out. Axiom Verge has come out. We got Fire Emblem. This was so great, Fire Emblem Warriors. And look at this, we got some cool peripherals. We got the Xenoblade Chronicles Pro Controller, which is arguably the best Pro Controller to date. It really was, and this year started off really well. Kim was so excited to get Dragon Quest Builders on the Nintendo Switch. So she's like, oh my god, her favorite game. She really liked this game a lot. She freaks out. She's like, when's the second one coming out? I'm like, I don't know, 2018. And Bayonetta 3's coming out, but we got Bayonetta 1 and 2. Obviously, you have to download one of the games, but hey, we can't have everything perfect, for sure. But I wanted to come in and gush a little bit about the really fun year I had playing this machine. And I've had fun playing obviously the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, but Nintendo really had a great first year, and I'm going to celebrate this because of all the doom and gloom that was that was getting reported out there that, oh, Nintendo's going to fail, Nintendo's doomed for sure, if they don't do this, if they don't do that. And, I guess I'm a little bit more relaxed in that way. All I want to do is have a good time. And I believed in the machine, and I thought, you know what? I just want to play Zelda, man. I just want to play Mario Odyssey. And I got all this other great stuff as well, and that's all from the first year. This second year now, I'm really getting excited for some of the announcements. I want an Animal Crossing game. I can't wait for the next Pokemon-style game. Looking forward to that. Metroid Prime 4. It's great, and I can't believe that in the first year I've already accumulated memories for a lifetime. And we'll all be talking about this machine for a long time. My god, on YouTube now, there's entire channels that are just Nintendo Switch related. That's all they do is Nintendo Switch. It's a very exciting machine for a lot of people, and it has been for me. And I was so excited to play it earlier. Like a week and a half earlier, and that was really magical. And looking back now, I was like, wow, that was really an exciting time. And what do you guys think of the Nintendo Switch's first year in release? What do you want to see more from them? What more do you want? You know what? I don't want any more from that first year. I got everything and then some from it. I have memories for a lifetime, as I say. So anyways, guys, until next time.